Hello everybody, Average Gamer here. Welcome to a, I guess you can call it a summary video? Breakdown video of the production update video. That was Friday. Sorry, I went away for the weekend, so wasn't able to do this in time. Kind of cramming a whole bunch of videos today on Wednesday. So, what's going on? What happened? Well, a whole bunch of things happened on Friday that were talked about. There was the new tech balance for September. There was the final nail in the coffin for the inverse kinematics. There was some advisement of the special event system for September. There's a new match coming out in November. It's going to be a mid-size moon-themed map. Kind of told between a mix between HPG and I believe it was Tourmaline. The next map after that is going to be a full-blown city map. Like we're talking like downtown New York style map from the sounds of it. Changes to quick play, possibly going down to 8v8. Possibly only group queue, possibly not. Not 100% sure. They're going to survey the community and throw it out there. But it's just being an idea being thrown out there. So I will say this right now. If you like it or don't like it, don't talk about it, vote. If you don't vote, then you have no opinion. The way to make it out there is to vote. Show that you actually want what you want. If you just talk that and say that you want something, but then when it comes up to actually voicing your opinion or trying it out, for example, on the PTS, and you don't, and you complain about it later, it's your own fault for not trying it, voicing your opinion, saying, you know, blah, 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 doesn't work, or blah, blah, blah was awesome. Or voting yes or no on something. The new Solaris mode is coming out. Now, it is going to be in this system here. Now, whether it's a new mode up here or a separate launcher altogether, I'm assuming it's going to be in this. It's going to be probably one of the tabs up here. From what I can, I'm going to do a video separately on Solaris. It's going to be in the next day or two. Just talking about it. It's going to be a Let's Talk, probably. Or even a few other things I'm going to do. There's going to be a new bolt-on system where you can bolt on additional geometry onto your mech, or just additional things on your mech that just blow off. They don't affect your mech's stats in any way. Hit box, hit register, and that. They're just cosmetic, and they can be blown off, which is something I really, really like. Loot crates are going to be updated. They're going to use the Overwatch system. Basically, get tons of objects in each loot crate. And some crates are going to be only unique to Solaris. The mech hangar is going to be looked at as well for a first-person view, where you can walk around your mech lab and look up at your mech. Or even maybe from one of these, maybe. Like up here, look over. Even here, look over. This is something along the lines of what we saw for the MechWarrior 5 playthrough, but obviously within the confines of the CryEngine. There were some questions about the Solaris, if there would be a lot of betting allowed associated with Solaris, where, you know, betting C-bills and things like that. And the answer was basically just a no. For those people who don't know, I'm going to basically just tell you guys this. With the fact that PGI is a Canadian company, we do have very, very strict betting laws up here when it comes to betting. The government heavily regulates gambling up here. So that does restrict, you know, people putting C-bills in and things like that. And on top of that, one of the problems you're going to run into is, you know, how do you gauge who's allowed to, you know, do things, right? Like every province, for example, in Canada has its own laws within the country itself. So the country has stipulations, and then the provinces have stipulations. Like here in Canada, for example, you can gamble when you're 18. You can buy a lottery ticket. You can go to the casinos. Well, you can't really do anything like that, if I'm not mistaken, when you're 21 in the United States. So how do you stipulate that, right? Do you set up the rules local to them or not, right? For example, there's certain rules and regulations associated with taxing of winnings. Do you tax C-bill winnings and then give the cash value to the state that someone resides in? For example, up in Canada, we don't get taxed on lottery winnings and things like that, on gambling and things like that. So it kind of comes down to too many regulations and too many things to worry about and especially when it comes to legal stuff. So they just put a kibosh on that right away. They will be looking into special events for mech specific. So for faction play, for example, maybe if you pilot the following mech during the following event for the following factions, if you're in one of these factions and you pilot the following mech, a la the Awesome for the FRR, for example, and you do the following things, you get some rewards, which would be pretty nice. Right now, the reason why they're excluding MC mechs is because some of them, they look at it as they're mechs that some people paid for, and some people haven't paid for, or don't have access to. So it's become a situation where for Solaris, they want to set it up so that you can play any mech that you have, even if you paid for it. But at the same time, they feel like they do feel hindered, that they want to say you should be able to use one, because they can't turn around and say, you paid $10 for a mech and then you're not allowed to use it specifically in that mode. So they're looking into it. They're trying to figure out a way around that, because they have admitted that some mechs are better and some mechs are worse. So it's like, well, we'll see that. We'll figure that out. They're looking into pilot and hangar customization, which is pretty good. The Solaris free-for-all mode, probably not going to happen, where it's 1v1v1v1v1. Basically, it's 4 guys all fighting everybody. They're looking at 1v1 and 2v2, obviously. Then they put some announcements associated with some Solaris looks, first looks at the tournament, at MechCon, playable MechWarrior 5, Q&As, the new maps you'll be able to look at them in MechWarrior or at MechCon and all that stuff. A couple things I wanted to mention. Solaris. Well, actually, they mentioned a couple things in Solaris that are interesting, but I just wanted to mention these were the main things that they hit upon. I'm not thinking of anything else really off the top of my head. I think that was pretty much it, to be honest with you. Now, whether 8v8 is good or bad, I don't know. The game was 8v8 at one point. Who knows? So we'll have to see. I do like the whole bolt-on option, whether it's both friggin' C-Bills and MC, which would be pretty good, so we'll have to see. We'll definitely have to figure things out a little bit. Yeah. I'm interested to see how that works out. But that is overall just the breakdown, the overall just generic breakdown of the whole thing. I don't mind how it is and what it looks like and all that stuff. But overall, that was just the main batches of information. I will be having a video later on that goes into even more detail on all that stuff. Solaris is one of the big things I'm going to have a video on in the next day or two, specifically on Solaris. Another one is going to be on the whole ranking system for mechs, but how for Solaris they're going to be breaking down the mechs into tiers and all that stuff, which is something I've already mentioned a long time ago that they should do, and now they're finally doing it. And now they're mentioning possibly implementing it into the game for quick play and things like that. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you on the battlefield. Bye-bye.